Leading people well is tough, even in the best of times. But what do we do when it gets really, really tough? How do we as leaders respond to adversity in a healthy and productive way? How can we continue to succeed in business and in life through the storms of leading well? You know, when dangerous storms begin to brew over the horizon, most herd animals and even humans have a tendency to take cover or move away from the storm, but not the buffalo. The buffalo, instead of running for cover, will gather its herd, take a few last bites of whatever food is out there, and head directly through the storm. As leaders, we have to do the same thing. We're all faced with different storms that come with leading well. Modern day leaders face leadership storms that can cripple an individual, a team, or an entire organization. Our guests are resilient leaders, some of the best resilient leaders our country has to offer. They'll walk us through how they actually got through these storms and how they became better on the other side. So join us on the Through the Storm podcast. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome back to the Through the Storm podcast. We have been gone for a little bit, but as you can see, it's a little bit different of a setup. We are in person with Chase Harris, one of my favorite human beings in the entire world. Just because the things that you do are phenomenal. The world is a better place because of what you're doing and how you're talking and how you speak, and you and Cash and your family, everybody. So I wanted to bring you back. We had you on the show like a year ago. Yeah, I think it was about a year ago.
Yeah,
and you, you, Carly, both. Yeah, you guys were both on the show. It was an awesome show. And so for the listeners, a reminder, the Through the Storm podcast is a podcast where we talk to leaders who have been through storms. Mm. Last time we talked about some significant storms that you've been through. We talked about marriage. We talked about life. What I want to focus on this time is some of the awesome things that have happened over the last year, because I've seen a lot of growth. Like a million people have seen a lot of things that y'all been doing online on Instagram. But the first thing I want to talk about is, you mentioned this. So you have Cash. He's got spina bifida, born with spina bifida. October is Spina Bifida Awareness Month. Yes. What does that mean to you guys? What does that mean to your family? And what do you guys do during October?
I think the biggest thing, man, is we want to be advocates for the community, the spina bifida community, the wheelchair community. And so I will honestly say this is the first year that we have been, that we identified with October being Spina Bifida Awareness. Honestly, I didn't know. Yeah. Just because, when you're doing life every single day, I don't pay attention to a lot of that stuff. But it came up, another little guy that I follow on social media, his parents had posted it. So I was like, you know what, let me post it. And when I posted it, it helped me realize how many families are walking through something and it doesn't look as glorious as what we walk through. And so that just opens the door for me to be able to be of service to some other family that may need help.
Oh, dude, and that's if I could wrap up what you're doing, what you and your family does in one word, it's like service. Mm-hmm. You guys are equipping Cash with the ability to live life to its fullest. Right. And that's what's the phrase you guys have?
My resilience is greater than life's resistance.
Exactly. Like the resilience piece, and the resilience that you're instilling in Cash is something that, like, man, I wish, like I like with my kids, with my three kids, I want to make sure that they are resilient and that they can get through anything. And if you haven't checked out Cash and Chase and Carly, go check them out on Instagram, because you'll be inspired every single day with what they do. So with that being said, you started a fund to help kids like Cash, like your son, the Chase Family Harris Assist Fund. And just to tell people, like, why did you start that? I know it could be obvious for a lot of different reasons, but what was the heart behind that?
Man, to be honest with you, Mama, I call her Mama, Carly and I, we sit on the back porch in the evening. Sometime we just hang out. Yeah. And we were just thinking, like, man, our life is so great. Honestly, like the blessings that we have, the insurance that we have that allows us to have the resources we need for Cash. And we just knew with the influence that we had and that was growing, we wanted to be of service to other families. And so I'm talking, I don't know how long, months. We're like, what's the name, this? But Cash is a baller. Mm-hmm. So like it has to implement some type of basketball concept. And so that's how we came up with the Harris Family Assist. And that's it, man. We want to be of service. We know what it feels like for these insurance companies to play games and believe that for whatever reason, you're just trying to get a wheelchair, to have a wheelchair. Like, these are our children's legs. Like, we need this stuff. And so we wanted to be the point of enforcement, to be honest with you. We want to use our influence to help these children and families get what they need so their kids can be mobile and have the joy and peace of independence in their life.
Yeah, and again, what you guys do and what the assist does is it equips these kids that may not be able to have that full life. It gives them the ability to be able to have that, and to play basketball, to get upstairs, to get those walkers, get that equipment that they need to be able to do what they need to do. And we'll ask this question: How can people get involved? Where can people find that? How can people support that? The Harris Family Assist.
So the biggest thing is our website, harrisfamilyassist.com. So if you go to harrisfamilyassist.com, you can donate. Even if you just share our Instagram, share our website, that's going to bring more awareness to what we do to help other families out. So that's the biggest thing. We make posts about it on social media, Instagram, but the biggest is if you go to our website, you can see everything. You can share our website. That's going to help us out a lot.
Nice. Now we're going to get to the unscripted part of the podcast.
There we go.
We're going to get a little bit real. So you guys got a lot going on. A lot going on. What does the next year look like for y'all? As a family, as a business, because you got a lot of irons in the fire as well. You still do the physical fitness training. So you got real estate. You got all these things as irons in the fire, and then you got cash. You got all this stuff that you're doing. What does the next year look like for you guys?
Man, let me back up a little bit. So I will say August of 2024, God just put it on my heart. You're not the main character of the story. And what that means is God is always the main character of the story. So the biggest thing that I'm in this season of life is, what is God saying? Where is he directing me? He's been directing me to some great places. And so over this next year, the goal is to, one, help as many families as we can with our event in the spring that we do, the walk and roll. But also, I can't give full details, and you're the first one hearing this outside of us. We are going to be on a network talk show in probably a month.
Come on.
And I'll just say it's the number 2 talk show in the world.
Dang.
And so it's a blessing. But again, it's a way for us to gain more reach, more notoriety, but to help other people.
Yeah.
And so that's the main focus, man. How can we continue to pour into this dark world that we live in and be a light for people who they need a light because they're in a dark room intentionally because they're afraid to go outside these walls.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good, man. With that, man, like, so the people that you've impacted, and this is totally off script. Like, can you share a story of, I don't know if it's an impactful story to you, have someone coming up to you and be like, man, you because of what you've done, this is what's happened.
Yeah.
Do you have one of those?
Yes. The biggest thing is like families who find out their child is going to be born with spina bifida, and they come to us like, what do I do? A guy last week, he reached out to me and he was like, man, my son just got a shunt, basically a VP shunt. Kids with spina bifida, their spinal fluid backs up into their head instead of going down. And so the VP shunt drains it into their stomach. Otherwise, it's going to be bad news for him. So that he got that, he's good. But he's like, man, I can't stop thinking about the next thing. And I just told him, like, man, one day at a time. Like, God says that tomorrow has its own problems. We got to stay in today and live in the glory that y'all have today. Your little man, I'm sure he feels better with the pressure not in his head. And he was like, you're right, man. Like, we haven't seen his eyes open until he got the shunt placed because the pressure is relieved. We haven't seen him smile. We haven't seen him. And so I'm like, stay right there. Stay in that moment, because I promise he's going to get through the other ones the same way. And they call it the snowflake disease. Every child is different. Every human is different. And so you don't know if he's going to don't place those things on him. And he's not even there yet. And so just to be able to provide that encouragement to fathers who, and this isn't like, I'm not trying to boast, but they're not built like me. They haven't been through the things in the past that I have that prepared me for this. So this is just heartbreaking to them. But I can give them hope and let them see, like, man, this is going to be all right. You already got through this first one, the next one, it's going to be the same thing. Y'all going to make it.
Yeah, to being like the resilient leader that you guys are, you and Carly, man, the resilient leaders y'all are, as again, it's inspired so many people, but like, that's got to be tough being that all the time. So leaning into the Lord, Isaiah 6, and then I heard a voice in the Lord saying, who shall I send and who will go for me? And then you said, here am I, send me. So what was that kind of here am I, send me moment that changed? It could be something in the last 10 or the last 5 years, something that's changed. When did you have that moment of like, okay, you know what? Let's just go. Let's just do this.
Man, honestly, it happened at about 9 years old. And so not learning that until I was an adult, but with my father not being in the home and it just being me, my mom, and my older sister, I was the man of the house. And so at that point, directly or indirectly, they start treating you that way. So my sister's coming to get me at 9 years old to fight 18-year-old boys who upset her. And I'm like, what are you, like, the fight or flight is like, I'm out of here. But then, then you got your mom who you see her crying or upset or fighting with your sister. So you're trying to be the media. So many things prepared me to be more mature than my age. And it just kept going and going and going and going. And then my own personal trials with drinking like an idiot and going through that trauma and putting my family through all these trials and tribulations. Like, I vowed to myself to never allow my children to see me be that guy. Unfortunately, my wife had to see that guy for some years, but now I get to live and be the man and father that they deserve. And so that's enough for me to be resilient and continue to not allow this craziness around me in this world to cause me to suppress the boldness that God blessed me with.
Man, when you talk about the stuff that's going on in this world, and it can get overwhelming. All the things that's going on politically, all the things going on economically, geographically, just all the stuff that's going on in this world can get really, really heavy. And I think that when you can focus on something like, hey, Cash, we're going to get up this step today. We're going to take this one tangible step, and you can grab onto that. You can hold it. It was like in the Marine Corps. It was very much like when I was in the Marine Corps. It was, okay, what's the next best step?
Right.
It's you need to shoot one round downrange. That's the next best step. And you showing people how to physically take that next step, that next best step, is how has that shifted over the years? Like, how is your perspective on being able to block out what's going on externally and focus on that next best step? The next best step for you professionally, for you as a husband, for you as a dad. How do you focus on that next best step?
I think I understand it's my calling now. Before, it's more of a macho thing.
Yeah.
Like, like I'm a dog, like I'm him, I'm built for this. But when you truly understand it's your calling, that the videos that you once put out, just capturing you and your son doing physical therapy, are captivating and changing lives and saving lives.
Yeah.
And so in that, I'm doing it for the glory of God anyways. And so now understanding that wholeheartedly that God has this mission for me, I can't fall off.
Yeah.
Because it was never about me to begin with.
Yeah.
So I have to continue to progress. And obviously, I can see how he's pouring into me and using me as a vessel to reach other people that I would never reach a day in my life, just looking at you or them and me. And so I just know I got to stay on path.
Yeah.
I got to stay on path.
Man, you do it so calmly. There's one video that, like, man, it brings me to tears every time I see it. When Cash, when you're helping him get out and he falls down the table, you grab him at the very last second before, and he's crying, and you put him back in the chair, and you're like, it's all right, it's all right. And you just, how do you stay so calm in those situations? A lot of dads, including me, man, it's just we get triggered and we respond in a negative way at the simplest of things. How do you stay calm in those kind of situations?
I think I just understand that I've accepted that it's not other people's fault. And so I can't respond based on how I feel he should respond. And so he teaches me that truthfully more so than I'm teaching him, because what will happen if he falls off that table and he's crying? I'm like, suck it up, stop doing all that. He's going to be fearful because he didn't get to express those emotions and see that he's not going to get in trouble. He's going to get supported, and he's going to get to see time after time after time, I'm going to catch you when you fall, or I'm going to pick you up if you get all the way to the ground. And, this is, I forget who I was telling the other day, but the greatest compliment I have ever seen is people in the comments saying, watching this father and son reminds me of the love that our Father in heaven gives us every time we fall.
Dude, come on.
Like, I couldn't, to be compared to having the characteristic of Jesus when it comes to loving others, and that's deep, bro.
Dude, that's deep. And it shows, bro. But when you lean into that, when you're focused on that, when your foundation is that, you exude that, and it's just it just shows. It's just that's what does come out. It's when it's that piece of Jesus, that kind, that empathetic, that loves his son, that leaks into interactions with our own kids. And I get it wrong a lot. I get it wrong 9 times out of 10. But it's something that, like, man, the impact that we have on a kid, and also another thing is, like, when your kids look at you, your daughter and Cash, when they look at you, you can tell their eyes are focused on you, because they know that you are a kind and a good father. And it's just, you can just tell. And when my kids look at me that way, it just feels, there's nothing better in the world than when your kids are looking at you like that.
Right.
And it's like, man, that's how I want to look at my father.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's just, it's so good. Switching gears a little bit to some physical activity that I challenged you and the whole family to back in May. So the Murph workout, I challenged the whole Harris family to the Murph, which is 20-pound vest, 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, another mile run. And I didn't think y'all were going to do it, but you did it.
Yep.
You did the whole thing. So I want to explain. And Cash had his gear on. He was doing pull-ups on the door.
Right.
How was that for you guys?
It was cool. I'm gonna be honest. Mama didn't do it.
Oh,
Mama didn't do it.
No, that works.
But Bubba and I, we do pull-ups all the time. So it was just a workout for us, and the push-ups and the squats. So it was fun, man. It really was. And for the cause. Yeah. Like, it was great. I did it, or Carly and I, we did it the year prior. That was the first time we had ever done it. So to do it this time for the whole family to be involved, like, it was fun, man. It was fun.
So for those unfamiliar with the Murph workout, the reason it's such a thing, we do it on Memorial Day. So started out with active duty military, Navy SEALs, Mike Murphy, he would do this workout in Afghanistan. Like 120-degree heat, he would be running this thing in his flak jacket, and just like, he would do it like every week.
Oh, wow.
So then it bled into the CrossFit community, and now it's just, we do it every single year. And just remember, so our bodies can feel a little bit of pain for those who can't.
Right.
And what we did, when I challenged you and you accepted, we made a deal that, like, half of my book sales were going to go to the Harris Family Assist Fund. So what we did, and so those of you who bought the book online, thank you so much. We were able to give $1,000 towards the Assist Fund.
Yeah, it's huge.
Which is awesome. And what does that get somebody?
So that gets someone, luckily, over the years, I have politics for years, and I have acquired partnerships with some of the larger wheelchair companies in the world. And so I get a lot of the equipment donated to me for free, but it costs anywhere from $500 to $700 to ship this product. So this is going to allow 2 families to receive mobility and accessibility equipment. That's huge.
That's good. That's awesome, man. So I just thank you guys out there who bought the book.
Appreciate it so much.
We are going to extend this through December, through Christmas. So we're going to extend it half of any book sale through The Storm, my book. The link will be in the comments, or in the show notes, or whatever we do. It'll be somewhere where you can click it. Through the Storm, The Path to Becoming a Resilient Leader. Half of those book sales are going to up through Christmas, and who knows after that. We'll go to the Harris Family Assist Fund, and we'll keep it going, man. Yeah, we're going to keep it going. So as we wrap up, I want you to, the time is yours. What do you want to tell people? What do you want people leaving this podcast with that they can take home and tangibly change their lives with?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing right now, man, we are in a troubled time. There's so much going on around us, and you got 1 or 2 options. You can choose to be immersed in it, meaning you can take a side, the good or the bad, or you can pray for it and be the light outside of it. Because the more light that we can create outside of the darkness, guess what? It brightens up the darkness. And so that's just what I encourage everybody with, man. Like, there are so many blessings that we have in our life. If you have a wife, you're blessed. If you have children, you're blessed. If you have a mother or father that you have a relationship with, or they're alive, you're blessed. If you have a job, you're blessed. So there's so much going on. Is there going to be wicked stuff that happens in the world? Every single second. Yeah. We cannot control that. The Lord tells us, this world will have troubles, but take heed, I have overcome the world. So in it all, even though you can't see it right now, good will come from it. And I think we're seeing good. I think we're seeing people draw closer to the Lord. Yeah. People becoming more kind to one another simply because why not?
Yeah.
There's so much negativity everywhere else. So be a kind person. Lift someone up if you get the opportunity to. And just remember, you can be that light that could save a life, to be honest. Like truthfully save a life. That's what I would ask them.
Yeah, man. And that's that tangible next step. I mean, it's very simple. That tangible next step is to extend kindness to somebody. To look someone in the eye and say, hey, man, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, and just take care of people. Yeah. So, man, I appreciate you being here.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man. We're going to do this again. Next, I don't know when we're going to do it, but we're going to do it next. Next time we're in Dallas, we're going to come to this beautiful place and we're going to do this thing again. So thank you.
Can't beat it.
Thank you to the whole family. I appreciate you, man. Go follow. Is it Cashman? What's his handle?
Bubba_Cashman13 on Instagram.
Okay.
Chase_Cashman on TikTok, and then Chase_Cashman13 on YouTube.
Write that down.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you for tuning in to the Through the Storm podcast. We're going to be here live again for the next show. So, man, this is awesome. Stay tuned. This podcast, again, is a show about resilient leadership. And we bring in guests who have lived through the stuff and have a story to tell and are still living through the stuff and are getting through it. And you can too. So don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, and we'll see you next time.